All right.
Hey guys, welcome to tonight's call. I'm so excited to have all of you guys on tonight. I see a lot of familiar faces and some new faces, which is always great. I want to introduce myself first. My name is Hillary Granite. I am a physical therapist and a health coach in Washington, D.C. I own my own PT practice. I'm also a mom to twin boys who are in first grade and a stepmom to a senior in college. So this call is called Health, Wealth, and Happiness. We have it the first Tuesday of every month. This is one of my favorite calls because just what the name says, health, wealth, and happiness. We all want better health. We're all striving to either be healthier or feel better or just live life more optimally. You know, if we don't have our health, what do we have? And then wealth, we're all looking for more time freedom and flexibility and being able to say yes to more. And then if we have those two things, of course, we're going to be happier. So we all found this amazing vehicle through this company called Juice Plus that offers all three of these things to us: health, wealth, and happiness. So I was introduced to the Juice Plus company almost 4 years ago by my friend Amanda, who's on this call. You know, I was introduced to it because when my boys were 3 years old, they were constantly sick. They were born prematurely at the age of 32 weeks, and they were in the NICU for a couple of weeks, and they were constantly sick. Their immune systems was compromised from the day they were born. And so they were on antibiotics probably 5 to 6 times every single year from their very first year of life, and had breathing issues and all sorts of things going on with them. So when Amanda introduced me to the product, I felt like I had no reason to say no and started doing the product because of my kids. Since then, they have not been on antibiotics. It's been about 3.5 years. Their immune systems are stronger than I ever expected them to be. My entire family has been seeing benefits from them. And so because of that, I said yes to the business. So what you're going to learn tonight from hearing some of these stories is about the product, these amazing products that we have. And then you're also going to hear about the business model that we have and learn about how you can also say yes to more. So I'm going to turn it over to my good friend and business partner, Allison, who's going to share about the products and also share her story as well. All right, Allison.
Thank you so much, Hillary. So I'm super excited to be able to talk to you guys about product because I think I can speak for all of us on this call that are part of Juice Plus. We joined the business because with every good business, there's an amazing product behind it that actually works. And you know, all of us have become super passionate about what this has done, not only for our health, but also our friends and family, and not just our health, but also our happiness too. So I just thought I'd start a little bit by telling you about me. My name is Allison. I'm a mom of 2 teens, a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old. I've been married to my amazing husband for 19 years, and I've been with the Juice Plus company now for just about 2.5 years. But my health journey actually started about 6 years before Juice Plus was introduced to me, when I was actually able to heal myself with food. I suffered from chronic neck pain for about 2 years. It was a horrible time in my life. And I think back now to that time, and I'm almost baffled because out of all the doctors and specialists that I saw during that time, not one of them ever asked me about my lifestyle or what I was feeding my body every single day. Their answer was pain meds and cortisone shots. And I did go with the pain meds many times because it was a bad time and I was in a lot of pain. But when they wanted to put a cortisone shot in my spine, that's where I drew the line. And what happened is I was able to heal myself with food by eliminating inflammatory food. So I eliminated gluten, dairy, processed sugars, and my pain went away. Fast forward about 4 years later, yes, my neck pain was gone, but I still was not feeling healthy. I was not feeling good. I was sick all the time. I had chronic sinus infections, and I was tired all the time. I had no energy. And so I knew something was missing, but I wasn't really quite sure what it was. So when my friend Becky, I saw her post about fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and I was skeptical, but got very curious about what that was all about because I knew from the past that food was very powerful. And I also knew that I knew I wasn't getting in enough fruits and vegetables at the time. So when she explained the product to me and I looked into it, it just completely made sense. So I started on the product along with my husband and my 2 kids 2 weeks later, I noticed my energy just went through the roof. I went from a chronic snoozer to waking up before my alarm every day. And when that happened, I was like, okay, there's something to these fruits and vegetables, and I don't know what it is, but we're going to stick with it, and we're going to be consistent with it every single day. So I had no idea what was going to happen, but 2 months later, my son's constipation issues went away that he had had since he was a baby. 9 months later, I had my blood work done and my cholesterol went down 40 points. Over that year, my husband noticed he no longer had any IBS issues. And since we've all been on it for the past 2.5 years, our immune systems have never been stronger. And my kids have not even been on any antibiotics in the past 2.5 years. And again, after being on the product for 2 years, I was able to actually get off of my high blood pressure medication. So that was just such an amazing thing for me. So now my focus with these products and taking them every day is prevention. You know, we're planning to prevent. Like, I know fueling our bodies every single day with these plant powders is helping us to prevent what could potentially happen in the future. So that's why I have become so passionate about the products and why I'm really excited to talk to you guys about it. So I'm going to keep it super simple tonight because that's just what our products are. They're simple. We don't have a big catalog of products. We just have a few products to share with you. So as I mentioned, these are our plant powders. In here are 30 different raw vine ripened fruits, vegetables, and berries. And what I love about it is, you know, we've all heard the term farm to table, and this is actually farm to capsule. And the reason why it's farm to capsule is because the company actually works with small to mid-sized farms where they grow non-GMO produce, where it's picked at its peak of ripeness, and then kind of pulverized down. They take the entire fruit and vegetable, the seeds, the rind, the peel, the stems, everything that we normally don't eat. And that's actually where a lot of the nutrients are in the food. And they pulverize it all down, and then they dry it at a really low temperature where it maintains all of those nutrients in the fruits and vegetables. And then they're made into these vegan capsules. And because it comes from a farm, it's actually real food. So if you look at the label, it comes with a nutrition label, just like real food in a grocery store, versus a vitamin or supplement label that you might find in your multivitamins. So these are not meant to replace your fruits and vegetables. You know, we all know that we're supposed to be getting 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. A serving is the size of your fist, and that's really hard, right? So, and if you're an athlete, that's actually almost doubles. So what Juice Plus does is it bridges the gap between what we do eat and what we're supposed to eat. A few things that I love specifically about the product, Juice Plus is actually the most researched nutritional product in the world. It's backed by tons of scientific research and has been published in some of the top medical journals in the world. And that research actually shows that the product is 100% bioavailable. So what that means is it goes straight into your bloodstream to do all the good things that phytonutrients and fruits and vegetables are supposed to do for us. And if you think of a multivitamin, if some of you take multivitamins, you take those and you'll go to the bathroom and you'll pee, and you have what we call disco pee. It's this bright yellow pee, and that's because your body is not actually absorbing all the nutrients from that vitamin. So when you take Juice Plus, your body actually absorbs all the nutrients from the fruits and vegetables in the powders. Another thing I love is Juice Plus is NSF certified. And, you know, I know me from my past experience wanting to keep everything really clean. Products with an NSF certification like Juice Plus, it means it's been tested over and over again for chemicals, pesticides, and we know that there are 0 contaminants allowed in any of the Juice Plus products because they are all NSF certified. So we don't have to worry about anything like heavy metals, arsenic, or anything like that. We also have these amazing chewables. So Juice Plus also comes in a chewable form, awesome for kids and adults that may not want to swallow capsules. And it's basically the same fruits and vegetables that you'll find in our capsules, but they're in a vegan gummy form. And what the company has done, they have a program called Healthy Starts for Families. And with that program, with every adult order, you can actually sponsor a child to take it for free. So for up to 4 years, which is amazing. It's not just one order, but it's up to 4 years. So, you know, in my family, my husband and I take Juice Plus, and we sponsor both of our kids to take it for free. And what they're finding is kids that take Juice Plus every single day, they have less doctor visits. They're getting sick less. They are start to becoming more aware of their health. And, you know, they're actually starting to crave more fruits and vegetables and less of the sugary junk food. So I think that's pretty amazing that we have that program set in place. Next is our omegas. This is a newer product. This is a vegan, 100% vegan, full spectrum omega. So it's omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. You may be used to just having an omega-3, which comes from fish, right? A fish oil is what people are mostly used to. Fish actually get their omegas from algae. So what Juice Plus did is they kind of skipped that middle fish. They went straight to the source, and they got their omegas straight from the algae. So this is a full plant-based omega. They also get other omegas from pomegranate seed oil, sea buckthorn berry oil, raspberry seed oil, tomato seed oil. So we all know that omegas are great for hair, they're great for skin, inflammation, mood, and especially our brain health. So we've been, my family's been on these for about 1.5 years now, and we absolutely love them. Our next product is our plant-based powders, our complete powders. So these come in chocolate and vanilla. These are also 100% vegan. They're gluten-free, dairy-free, they're non-GMO, and they're actually low glycemic. So they're safe also for diabetics, which is really great. You can use these as a snack. You can use them as a meal replacement. And, you know, they're again filled with tons of plants, completely different than the ones that are in our capsules. So you're getting almost an additional 15 plants when you have one of these shakes. And everybody in my family loves them. We don't just make shakes out of them. We make pudding, we make protein balls, we do hot cocoa. So there's a lot of really great things that you can do with those powders. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about our tower garden. So I have a picture here. I wish I could show you the one I have in person, but this is our aeroponic tower garden. If you love to grow your own food, or maybe you're scared to grow your own outdoor garden, traditional garden, the tower garden is absolutely amazing. I've owned one now for a couple years. I grow outdoors in the summertime, and I grow indoors during the winter. So I'm able to grow, you know, organic, non-GMO vegetables all year round. And when I have it indoors, I'm growing kale and chard and lettuces and spinach and herbs. And, you know, it's just amazing. And outside, you know, cucumbers and tomatoes, it's awesome to have. And it's super simple to use, and there's no dirt involved, and it's pretty, it takes care of itself, which is really great. So we really love that. So I know I went through that really quickly, but I'm super excited to pass it off to a couple people to share their stories, because it's our stories that really make our products come to life. So I am going to pass it on to Stacy to share her story first.
Thank you, Allison. Hi, everyone. So my name is Stacy King, and I am also a physical therapist with a private practice in Bethesda, Maryland. And how I got introduced to the products was actually through the Shred 10 program. So the Shred 10 program is a 10-day clean eating program where you eliminate all of your common high allergy foods. Doesn't mean it's a high allergen or you have an allergy to it, but you take out dairy and gluten and anything with added sugars, anything that's processed, caffeine and alcohol. For 10 days, you add in the Juice Plus products that Allison had talked about, and you get more exercise and you try to get a lot of sleep and drink a ton of water. And so I went into the Shred 10 because I was looking for a change. I was looking for something to help me get towards my goal. So I had done the first shred actually in January. It'll be 2 years. And I was getting ready for my son's bar mitzvah. And I had the goal of losing those last couple of pounds that I just couldn't get rid of. And, you know, it was a vanity thing. I wanted to look good in the pictures and the drafts and everything else. So I unknowingly enrolled my husband and said, we're both doing this for 10 days. And what I found about this after having done other types of detoxes and cleanses was this was really easy. This was one of the easiest detoxes that I had ever gone through. The products were great. They were easy to use. The program was easy to follow with a ton of support. And within just a couple of days, I really noticed significant changes that I felt could last, not just for these 10 days, but for a lifetime. And so when all was said and done, after 10 days, there were still 10 days to my son's bar mitzvah. So it was simple enough that my husband and I looked at each other and were like, let's keep going. So we did it for 20 days. I not only lost those last couple pounds, but I lost more. My energy was off the roof. I get up at 4:15 every morning to work out by 5, and I was working out harder. I was recovering faster. And most importantly for me, my stomach pains went away. And that was something I was worried about. So, the bloating and the gassing and the discomfort I would normally feel during the day, not being able for me to identify what those triggers were gone. And the kicker with all of that was actually at my son's bar mitzvah is that people came up to both my husband and myself and started asking, what are you doing? You guys look great. And so the feedback was right there. So it was something that was simple, easy, and I started sharing it with everyone I knew, and that's how it went for me. So that's my quick product story, and I'll never imagine missing, more than a couple shreds a year because it is just that easy. So I'm going to take that and pass it on to Robin.
Hi, thanks, Stacy. Hi, everyone. My name is Robin Schwinn. I'm a mom of 2 kids, and I'm a registered nurse. And I got introduced to the Shred 10 by Allison. I had seen her post on social media and had been following her for a while and knew her through town. And basically, it came at a time in my life where I had been suffering from severe GI issues, migraines every month. They came like clockwork, joint pain, and insomnia. And the insomnia started after the birth of my daughter, who's now 11. So I had it for 10 years because I got introduced to this program a year ago. And I had always said, if I go see a specialist about my GI issues and whatnot, they're going to tell me, well, why don't you try an elimination diet? Why don't you try eliminating all these things? And every week I would gear up and say, okay, I'm going to do it. But there was nobody holding me accountable. There was no support. There was no community. And for me, that's something that I desperately needed. So the Shred 10 info came on to me, and I talked to Allison, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. First couple of days were a little rough, I have to admit. But then by the 8th day, the most miraculous thing happened, and I slept through the night for the first time in 10 years. And that for me was huge. I remember waking up and actually crying because I could not believe that I had had such a significant change. The other thing was my GI issues subsided, my joint pain subsided. I didn't get any migraines every single month like I used to. Just huge changes. And on top of that, the community that the Shred 10 provides and the support and the encouragement has been amazing. And that's what's gotten me through. And it's so wonderful to see everybody come together and help everyone and work together. And my family has done it. My husband's done a couple shreds with me. He's noticed a huge improvement. My kids haven't had any issues. My son had asthma and only needed 1 trip to the doctor for prednisone when, he was going almost, weekly because it was so bad during the winter. And my husband travels a lot, and he hasn't gotten sick. So it's made a huge impact for our family, and it's taught me how to look at food and what I can and can't have and how much of a difference it makes. So it's been wonderful. I love it. I try and do it every month. I do mini shreds when I can, or I do sometimes, like Stacy said, longer shreds. But it's really changed our life, and I couldn't be happier. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Robin and Stacy, for sharing your stories. I love hearing these stories. Robin, I've never actually heard your full story, so thank you. And I love hearing how much people feel better and look better. So we're going to just switch gears for a moment and talk about the business behind Juice Plus. So as I already said, I came into the business originally because of the products and because of my kids. But I was also at the time looking for a way to make some passive income. As a physical therapist, I'm constantly trading dollars for hours. And if I don't see patients, I don't get paid. So if I want to take time off to go on a field trip with my kids or go on vacation, I don't get paid. If a patient cancels, I don't get paid. So I was really looking for a way to make passive income. And so that was why I kind of listened up and wanted to hear more about this Juice Plus business. At the time, I also never had a backup plan or a plan B. So as a physical therapist, at some point, I feel like I'm going to get too old to continue to be a physical therapist, whether that means I want to cut back because I'm a manual therapist. It's really hard on our bodies. We stand a lot. It's very physically demanding. But even worse, if I ever got injured and couldn't perform my duties as a physical therapist, I didn't have a backup plan. And I didn't know how I would be able to supplement my income or even replace my income. So now, as I'm building my Juice Plus business while I'm working full-time and running my own business, I am now thinking of Juice Plus as an asset that I'm growing over time that will eventually pay me forever. And the best thing about it is that I can do it in stolen moments. So I really do this business just as I do life. So whether I'm like at the playground on a Saturday talking to another mom about, I see a kid with a runny nose. Hey, my kids don't get sick anymore. And then we start talking. I talk to my patients about it just throughout the day. And then as far as like the stolen moments that I'm talking about, it's when a patient cancels. It's when my kids are in bed at night. I listen to a training call on my way to work or to some call on my way home from work. So I really just fit it in these true stolen moments. So what I've learned through this business is a way to work a lot smarter, not harder. And I've been working hard my whole life, and I'm hoping to change that over the next several years, just trying to do things differently. And, the most successful people I know have multiple sources of income. And so that is what I'm trying to create right now. So even though I'm so passionate about the business model, and it took me a while to get there. When I first learned about it, I was very skeptical, as I'm sure some of you are, and have a lot of questions. So I'm going to just go over how a typical business structure works and how it compares to the Juice Plus model, and then debunk some myths as well. So to start, I'm going to show you a typical business structure. So typical business structure, I don't know if you can even see that. Can you see that? Okay. Is a triangle or a pyramid. And at the top, you have a CEO. And then underneath the CEO, you have a bunch of layers: senior people, presidents, vice presidents, senior managers, middle managers. And then at the bottom, you have the people doing the daily grind, really working their butts off, trying to, trading dollars for hours, as a lot of us do. You can work your way to the top over time. It's usually super competitive to work your way to the top. There's only one CEO at the top. So the likelihood that you get to the very top or even to the next level is usually pretty slim. And if you do get to the top, or you say you already are a CEO, or you're an owner of your own business, as I am, or Stacy and some other people, Sarge on this call, you are still, you have a lot of expenses. You're working. There's a lot of stress that goes along with that. Even if you have the financial success as a business owner or a CEO, you usually don't have the time freedom that you would want. So the thing I love about the Juice Plus model is we are more of a rectangle. So we also still have levels that you work your way up. The great thing about this business, we all come in at the exact same level, no matter who you are or what experience, whether you're a doctor or you're a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't matter. We all start at the same level. We all pay the same amount to start, which is $50. We all have the same exact marketing plan. We all have the exact same opportunity to make it to the top. And the best part is the way we make it to the top and work up the levels is by helping people. So the more people that we help get healthy and feel better, the faster we're going to get to the top. Instead of a CEO, our head top position is called a National Marketing Director, an NMD. When you get to that top level, the company provides full benefits: health, dental, tuition reimbursement, full benefits, which I think is pretty amazing. All right, so that's the business structure. Now I want to debunk a few myths. So sometimes people hear network marketing and they think pyramid scheme. Is this a pyramid scheme? First of all, what is a pyramid scheme? We know that they're illegal. And if it was something illegal, this company would have been put out of business a long time ago. It has been around for 25 years. The product has never been recalled. We have more peer-reviewed research articles out there. I think it's up to 40 or close to 40 than any other nutritional supplement out there. And then the CEO has been a CEO for the past 25 years. So it's an amazing company and a company that I feel proud to stand behind. The second myth that we all talk about is that you need to be really good at sales and like selling. And that's just not true either. It's just really sharing from your heart. When you fall in love with a product as much as all of us have, you're going to want to tell people about it. I know that every day when I'm talking to my patients or to my friends, we're always saying like, oh, where do you get your haircut? Or where's your favorite place to get a manicure? Or what restaurant did you eat at on Saturday night? And so all day long, we're all sharing things that we love and we're not being compensated for it. And so this way, we share something that we love, that we're already seeing benefits within ourselves and our family, and we're just sharing from our heart, but we're actually making an income. I mean, I think that's a really easy way to like start making some income. So you don't need to be good at selling. The third myth that I wanted to talk about is that you need to know a lot of people. And that's not true either. This business is really, it's a teach to teach, earn as you learn business. So when I came into the business, it was just me. And then I introduced the business to Stacy, who's on this call. And I also introduced it to my friend Becky. And then Becky actually introduced it to Allison and Ginny and Julie and a couple of people. And then Stacy introduced it to Sarge and her friend Regina. And then they introduced it, and then I introduced it. And you could just see, this is just called the duplication effect. It just keeps going. So just by me introducing the business to 2 people, it just, over time, it just continues to duplicate. So I just want to show you real quick the power of numbers. So I just said I started off just teaching it to 2 people. And then those 2 people taught it to 2 people, which becomes 4. Those 4 teach to 2, it becomes 8. 8 teach to 2, it becomes 16. 16 teach to 2, it becomes 32. That's a good business right there with 32 people. But just imagine, instead of just teaching it to 2 people, you teach it to 5. If those 5 people teach it to 5, there's a little bit of a glare there, it becomes 25. If 25 people teach it to 5, it becomes 125. 125 teach it to 5, becomes 625. And that is a huge business. So just by teaching to 3 additional people, you can see how much bigger your business can be. So, I would say, introduce to as many people as you want, and the more the better. But if you only know 2 people, you can be extremely successful in this business. So that is the business model and how it works. But it's really about hearing more stories. So I'm going to turn it over to Patrick. We call him Sarge, who's on this call. And he's going to tell his business story, why he said yes to Juice Plus, and the success that he's seen with it. So go ahead, Sarge, take yourself off mute, and you can start talking.
Mute. Am I unmuted? Cool. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to come on and share my story. I'm going to actually take a little bit of a different approach, but I do have to warn you all. I realized that my phone was not being charged well, so I'm holding on to it. So if I start bouncing all over the place, I apologize. So my perspective is slightly different. I come from the health and wellness industry as well. I've been in the industry since I was in the Navy, and then got out of the Navy, and I did it as a civilian. I've owned my own fitness and training business for years, employed dozens and dozens of people. And so I've known about Juice Plus for about 15 or so years. I actually took it 15 or so years ago, and for a number of reasons, it kind of fell off of the wayside. And I was reintroduced to it again about almost a year ago. And when a client came in and said, do you know anything about Juice Plus? I said, yeah, I love the product. I wish there was a way I could get it into my children athletes. So one of the things that my business does is we train athletes. And the person said, well, how would you like to meet Dr. Stacy King? I said, well, who is that? And so she told me about her. She introduced me to Dr. Stacy King. We fell in love professionally with one another instantly. We do a show together now called the Doc and the Jock Show. And we just get along really, really well. She is kind of like that sister that keeps me in a line. There's only a way I can describe her. She gives me that punch in the shoulder I need. So we do really well. So moving back to why I was interested from the business. Number one, when it comes to kids, it's hard to get anything in their mouth that's not Chipotle or mac and cheese. So I do nutrition consults with athletes, high-level athletes going to Division I schools, all the way down to the middle school kid who's playing in 25 soccer tournaments a weekend. And it's hard to get good nutrition into them because they're stopping at 7-Eleven for 3 or 4 meals a week. And so Juice Plus was a great answer. So then I said, okay, great, got the product. I needed the support because I have a business. I have a dozen employees. I have a big, just a lot of expenses and a lot of moving parts with my business. So how can I get that support? And that was really important to me, that I had the support, because I knew the product was there. I just didn't have time to manage that, and I didn't have time to champion the product. I needed a support system. So that's where Dr. Stacy King and some of our other colleague, Kelly, and others came in to help. to give me that support that I needed without me having to take on a $40,000 or $50,000 a year payroll person to do nutrition support, which I did and failed at miserably. And so that was extremely important to me to have that support. So for those of you that are out there, are potentially business owners, that is really key to you. And I know I'm speaking your language. Ease of growth, very, very important. Ease of growth of business. So it's not just, hey, I'm going to put this product on the shelf of my business and put it up there for clients to see, but how can I actually grow the business in multiple avenues so that I see growth in different ways so that the business is growing and giving me the return that I want. And there's a service that we have out there, or a program we call the Shred 10. The Shred 10 is really cool because what it does is it feeds more people into your business as you're growing the other different angles of the business. So that's really, really important. Now let's talk about sustainable growth. All right, sustainable growth is really key. So let's say that you wanted to invest in real estate and you wanted to get a home and you wanted that home to produce X amount of revenue for you. Well, if you wanted to produce $250 a month in profit, you're probably going to have to spend about $250,000 on that house, and hopefully at one point flip that into a profitable return over and above the monthly revenue. Give you an example. Bought a house, $150,000. Took me 10 years to break even on just the monthly payment I made on that house. So that was a lot of money I had to put down and a lot of risk that my family had to take. So what I love about this program is I paid $50. That was it. It was $50, shared the word with a handful of people, and it's starting to grow. So I'm really excited about that. So the sustainable growth model is really, really important. And last but not least, and I know I'm talking fast, as I started looking at the future for my wife and I'm a little older than most of you guys on the call, and I wanted to see what is out there for myself that can give me another source of income that aligned with my values as a health professional that I can earn an income from. Yeah, I can open 10 Dairy Queens, but that doesn't align with my values. I'm not passionate about ice cream. Like it once in a while, but I'm not passionate about it. And so I saw the people that were in their 60s and 70s who have been involved with Juice Plus since the inception. I said, that's what I want to look like when I become 75, 80 years old. That's how the vitality they showed, the health in their bodies, and also they're earning a good living from it. And also, in many cases, their benefits are being covered. So those are the key things. Health for kids, business support, ease of growth, sustainable growth model, and something my wife and I can do long until my hair starts to grow back. That's me.
Thank you so much, Sarge, for sharing.
A lot of information.
Passion. I think it's awesome. So I'm just going to wrap up here. We're right up at that 30-minute mark, and we don't want to, take any more of your time. So you heard some amazing stories about the product and the business. And, if anything that you heard tonight resonates with you, whether you want to take a product that improves your health or the business speaks to you. And if for some reason this business is all about relationships and connections. So if you know of someone who would benefit from the product or may be interested in the business, please connect them with the person who invited you to this call. And we'll be happy to give you more information and answer any questions that you have. We encourage everyone who's on this call to dream a bit bigger and to bring back the hope that we do not always need to be working 50, 60, 70 hours a week and trading dollars for hours, as a lot of us do. There really is a smarter way, and we do have that. So, just ask yourself, what if, and dream a little bit bigger. So thank you for your time tonight. We really appreciate it. And thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Hillary.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Hillary.
Thanks, Hillary.
Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you, guys.
Good job, everybody.